Fusiliers! Low! Out! Fusiliers! Shoulder! Out! First battalion, the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers is called on going to receive the freedom of Nuneaton and Bedworth on behalf of the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers.
Lord Lieutenant, Brigadier Mental, High Sheriff, Colonel Merriman, serving officers and troops of the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers, honored guests, retired officers and troops of the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers, leader of the Council, Chief Executive, Councillors, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure this morning to welcome you to this wonderful and momentous occasion where we are granting freedom of entry to the Fusiliers. I do hope as this parade advances, you will join with the troops and pay your respect and enjoy the spectacle that is unfolding in front of us. It's a wonderful occasion, and I thank you for being here to cherish this moment with me and the councillors and with everyone else who are gathered here this wonderful time. I thank you for being here. Thank you.
The Mayor and Councillors of Nuneaton and Bedworth Borough Council have approved the following resolution by unanimous vote at full council. That this council does grant and bestow the freedom of entry to the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers for their outstanding service to Queen and country, and being mindful of their glorious and honourable past, and in recognition of the many men and women from within the borough of Nuneaton and Bedworth who have served and still serve with honour and courage within the regiment, and to grant the regiment the right to march through the streets of the borough with bayonets fixed, colours flying and drums beating, and to have the grant of arms of the borough on their uniforms and equipment.
It is therefore with great pleasure I welcome you today on this historic occasion. The granting of freedom of entry is an honour that the Council only bestows on rare occasions. It is the highest award a council can bestow. Since 1907, 103 years ago, when Nuneaton became a borough council with the right to grant freedom of the borough, freedom of entry, and to create freemen of the borough, only two freedom of entry have been granted. The first was to the junior leaders of regiment in 1972, the second to the 30th Signal Regiment in 2002. Today, we are gathered to honor a regiment that is truly amongst the finest in the land. Formed in 1968 from four existing Fusilier regiments, including the Royal Warwickshire Fusiliers, their history is recorded in distinguished service, courage, and sacrifice for the last 300 years. They have served this country down the centuries in major conflicts around the globe. Their combined battle honours are a history of every major conflict Britain has fought, including battle honours awarded for the 1991 Gulf War and for Iraq. The regiment has served on Operation Henrik in Afghanistan, and this conflict brought home to the borough the reality of war when we lost two of our lads, Surgeon Simon Valentine and Fusilier Louis Carter. Our neighbour Coventry also suffered losses in Fusilier Susi, Fusilier Bush, and Lance Corporal Fullerton. I know that representatives of their families are with us today, and would like to welcome them and acknowledge that sacrifice their sons have made. The Royal Regiment of Fusiliers is the most worthy recipient of the freedom, and I am proud, as mayor of this borough, to be able to say, on behalf of the councillors of the Borough of Nuneaton and Bedworth and its citizens, I now grant and bestow the freedom of entry to the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers.